All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth through the Holy Spirit, and a sincere peace, blessings, and salutations to you, Akim, across the four corners of the earth that are pushing this knowledge and truth and this sincerity. This is the Brother Barzal from the GMS Arizona Camp, Lord's Will, with another quick lesson to edify. In this lesson, I want to go into experience. All right. Last week, I was out working. I recently set up this little side hustle that I got going on, where I clean pools, and this is something I'm doing, like I said, as a side hustle. Set up my own business, and it's something that is completely new to me, that I'm just recently getting introduced to. So I'm learning the whole process of cleaning and maintaining these pools from nothing, from scratch. All right. 2 months ago, I didn't know anything about this. And now I'm at a point where I can, kind of go out and do the work on my own with some understanding. I had a guy that I was shadowing for a while, and now I'm at the point where I can do the work alone. But last week was my first time. All right. Last week was my first time flying solo, cleaning these pools. And the 6 weeks that I spent shadowing this guy pales in comparison to the single day that I was out there working alone, where I actually had to do the work myself. I actually had to think it through. I had to experience it on my own. And the learning was exponential. Now, the experience was painful because I made a lot of mistakes. It was inefficient because I made mistakes that cut into my time that I could have been spending maintaining and cleaning these pools. I was backtracking things that I had missed. I had to go back and look at this and look at that. And ultimately, it was inefficient. It was frustrating. When you feel pressure, when you do something that's time sensitive and you're trying to get it done, but you don't really have all the answers in the moment, the stress starts to build up and you start to get headaches. Well, me personally, I got a headache of just from feeling overwhelmed in the moment. And it sucked. But I stuck with it and I went through it. And by the time I was towards the end of the day, something had clicked to where everything started to make sense. But I had to go through that moment of frustration, that moment of fire. And now I have an experience under my belt that gave me confidence to know that I can go out there and do this work on my own. Next time I go to clean and maintain the pools, I'm not going to make those same mistakes. It's going to be more efficient. I'm going to go in understanding what I need to do to get it done and in a timely manner. And it put this lesson on my spirit, okay, to go into to that word experience, because this is why the scriptures say that it's good to be exercised in experience, okay, because that's why the Lord puts us through different trials, different tribulations, so that we can gain experience, because experience is a great teacher. It's one thing to read about something, it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to experience it, to go through it, and the things that you'll learn and that you'll understand about whatever it is or that topic, the learning is going to be exponential compared to if you had never gone through it at all. And this is why the Lord takes us through so many trials, so many tribulations, so many different experiences, so that we can gain that wisdom, that knowledge, that deep wisdom, that deep knowledge that comes only through experience. So this is the word experience. It says practical contact with an observation of facts or events. Down in the next definition, the verb, it says encounter or undergo an event or occurrence. All right. So practical contact with an observation of facts or events. So practical contact with is actually going through it. You see, real life, not talking about it, but actually having your own real life experience with it. And it's a great teacher. You know, in the moment it feels like fire, it feels like you're going through hell, but what you're going to learn by going through that process is going to be exponential. It's going to be great. You're going to have so many takeaways that you can share from having gone through that process. This is Romans 5th chapter, starting at the first verse. It says, therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace, wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of the Most High. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also. And this is why it's important that we don't forget that our tribulations are, in most cases, and can be in most cases, a lesson learned, a teaching moment. We literally are walking through what the Lord wants us to learn and what the Lord wants us to know. And when we go through these things, we don't learn them just for ourselves. We learn them so that we can teach others. So it's good to go through them to gain that experience. You know, it says, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. So if tribulation worketh patience, let's see what that word patience is. All right.
Strong's G 5281. Hupamane. Hupamane.
All right. It says steadfastness, constancy, endurance. So tribulation worketh these things: steadfastness, constancy, endurance. It says in the New Testament, all right, which we're reading. It says in the New Testament, the characteristic of a man who was not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith. All right, so we go through these trials and tribulations. We can't let it shake up our faith. Okay, this would apply to a man who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith. All right, it says, and piety by even the greatest trials and sufferings. You see, the greatest trials and sufferings. So, you know, when I was going, you know, which is a minor example, but still a good example nonetheless, when I was basically thrown into the fire because the guy just was like, look, yeah, I'm going to send you out there on your own. He knew that it was things that I didn't know. He knew that I was going to have questions. He knew that I was going to have frustrations, but he threw me out there in the fire. And those were his exact words. And it was painful while I was going through it, but I felt so relieved and so confident and so thankful when I was done, because what I learned by being thrown into that fire was exponentially more than I learned by just following and watching him work. I had to go through my own experience. So it says again, piety by even the greatest trials and sufferings. So you're not going to be swerved. Okay, if you're a true man of the Lord, a true member of the elect. It says patiently and steadfastly, a patient, steadfast, waiting for, a patient, enduring, sustaining, and perseverance. And that's what you have to have, okay? So the tribulation is going to work those things. It's going to work perseverance in you. You go through one trial and you get through it. When you encounter it again, it's going to be easier. when I go back and work those pools, the next time I'm not going to be making the same mistakes, because now I got experience under my belt. Now I know a little bit better of what to do and what not to do. All right, so that I can work in an efficient way. Okay, and I hope this is making sense. It says, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. And we can't shy away from opportunities, okay, to what? To gain experience. You know, the Lord might have a job opportunity for you, and it might require you to step outside your comfort zone. Or you might be in a job now, all right, and the manager is throwing challenges at your way. You can't shy away from those opportunities and those experiences, man. And the truth, you could, you get a position, as an officer, or, within the camp. You can't shy away from those opportunities. The Lord is about to take you through a process where you're going to gain experience with something new, something you didn't have. And that's just another notch that you can add to your belt. What that's doing is adding wisdom. That's adding knowledge, okay, to who you are, to your experience, to your spirit, Slakia. And that's only, just making you a stronger member of the Lord's body that can be used to the furtherance of the ministry. All right, it says, and patience, experience, and experience hope. So we have hope through the experience that we gain. And experience is what? Practical contact with and observation of facts or events. So we understand everything written in the scriptures is factual. So having practical contact with it and being able to observe it through the process of going through it, that's experience. That's experience, and that's what the Lord puts us through. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes 1, and I'm going to start at verse 12. It says, I, the preacher, was king over Israel and Jerusalem. It says, and I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail had the Most High given to the sons of man to be exercised with. All right. So we're exercised by the wisdom that we acquire. But it's through going through the process of gaining that wisdom. And that's going to be through experience, because it says, I gave my heart to seek and to search out by wisdom all things that are done under heaven. And that's being well-rounded. That's not being afraid to get uncomfortable and to go here and learn about this, to go and learn about that, to step into this realm and see what's going on there. That's wisdom. Gaining a wide variety of experience through doing things of what's going on this planet Earth. You got to step out there and do something. You can't be, closed off to learning new things. We are to always remain students and continue to grow and to continue to learn. And if you have that mindset to always be a student, then you'll continue that learning and that growth process. So it says, and I gave my heart, which heart means mind. I gave my mind to seek and to search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail had a Most High given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. And I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. It says, that which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. I commune with my own heart, saying, lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. See, verse 17, and I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. All right. So we got to give our hearts over, to wisdom, to experience. All right. Because through the experience, the great experience is how you're going to acquire wisdom and knowledge. By going through things. And in many cases, the Lord is teaching us something through the trials and the tribulations to work that patience and that experience within us. All right, because here in Ecclesiastes, Solomon is saying that he said he has gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before him in Jerusalem. Nobody had more wisdom than King Solomon. And he said, my heart had great experience of wisdom. He sought things out. He gave his mind over to seek out wisdom by experience, by searching things out, by going through it, by stepping into this realm, by going over here and learning about that. And that's what it's about. That's why I'm putting out this video, to exhort brothers to not get comfortable, all right, not get complacent. Don't shy away from an opportunity of a new experience. As long as you ain't doing nothing to go against the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, we're permitted to go out there and to learn and to know and to understand what's going on under this planet Earth. We should have a well-rounded knowledge and understanding and awareness of what's going on this planet Earth, so we can teach our people, so we can warn, so we can admonish, so we can exhort. All right, that's our job, and you're limited to a degree to be able to perform the job effectively, and if you lack experience. All right, that's why the men that have been doing this for many years, it's best to take heed to those men, because they have a greater experience in the knowledge than someone that's only been in for a few years. So, even though you might memorize precepts better, they have a more, they've been exercised more through experience and walking this walk for many years. All right. And that's to be honored, So anyway, again, a few words on this, man. Just something that I thought about, working that pool business, really put this on my spirit, because like I said, man, it completely changed everything. And it's just like a light bulb went off towards the end of that grueling, painful experience. And now I'm going back into that, to go clean pools this week. And I'm excited. I'm not nervous. I feel like I'm going into the situation with understanding and confidence after I went through that painful experience of being thrown out there in the fire, because of everything that I gained from it. And that's what it's all about. It's the same thing with us in this truth. When the Lord puts us through fiery trials, when we come out on the other side, the things that we learn from it is going to make us greater. Okay. And with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. Until next time, Shalom.